Okay, this is a weekly report going from Saturday, July the 29th to Saturday, August the 5th, 2023. During this weekly report, I will summarize all the updates we have from a financing standpoint, and I will also mention the new relationship that we have established over the course of the week. We received some timelines from most of the lenders that we have in the pipeline, so I'll be sharing those with you, breaking them down by geography. I will start with the American lenders that we were in discussions with. As I mentioned in my past reports, we were in the deal for, I would say, in a conversation for mezzanine financing for the Ultra LASIK transactions at $50 million in total purchase price. These lenders will revert back to us the week of the 14th of August after they return from vacations. So feedback is to be expected for that week when it comes to terms, conditions, and the way forward. When it comes to the European lenders instead, pretty much same situation. They mentioned they will revert back to us with their terms and condition the week of the 21st of August. Again, we will need to accommodate a buffer of time because it was a discussion that we initiated later, and so they will need a little bit of extra time. In addition to that, we have our Asian lenders from Singapore. From them, we have a little bit of friction still when it comes to cross-border interactions and financing businesses in the UAE. So we're trying to mitigate those before they can actually present their terms and conditions and their term sheet. So it's just a matter of clarifying and explaining to them how we operate and how the business works. So I'm taking care of that, and I'm expecting to clarify all that over the course of the upcoming week. So after that, we can reasonably expect a feedback within the next 2 weeks or so. So I will budget 3 weeks max for a feedback from the Singapore institution. When it comes to the Canadians, the gentlemen that were also in the deal for the Ultra LASIK transaction, I haven't received a feedback on a time and delivery of their term sheet. I followed up again this week, but they still said that they're in the process of reviewing the transaction. So I'll continue to follow up, and hopefully we will get a deadline from them as well. And I'll push harder to get that nailed down next week. When it comes to new relationships, two things that I think are worth mentioning. First one is a discussion with Waha Capital in the UAE. They reached out to us because they're currently in the process of expanding their portfolio of investments in healthcare, and they're particularly interested in the dental vertical. They focus on tickets of $5 million minimum. So the discussion we had was around the way we can interact together and how they generally operate. When it comes to how they generally enter a transaction, we're talking about either equity, mezzanine, or convertible note with a certain rate of return that they're expecting out of each investment they make. And generally speaking, they focus on majority, which is, of course, something I mentioned to them was not possible for us. So we are in the process of discussing that and understanding how flexible they are. They said they were flexible if the investment could guarantee them the return they want out of their capital. So given I know we can provide these returns, I think we will have an open conversation and we will continue the interaction in the upcoming weeks. It was a positive conversation, which again came out of nowhere. Almost they reached out to us for new investments in the dental vertical. The second news I think it's worth mentioning. I kind of like connected with a group in New York, which is currently looking for investment opportunities in Abu Dhabi and Dubai, and we are scheduled to meet with them in person late August, because it will be coming here in Dubai. And their general ticket size is a little bit higher. It's around 30, 40 million. But what they're looking for is somebody to be on the ground, because based on my initial understanding, they wouldn't want to have a team here. They would rather have an investment, some committed capital with a trusted party, and then make sure they get their return, and potentially they can exit their investment in a short time frame. So the discussion will be around that. It's a building block process because it's something that it's brand new, but nevertheless, I think it's very valuable. Couple of other things that happened this week. Some challenges on the personal side, but nevertheless, I was able to deliver our regular output as always. Just adjusting things a little bit to make sure I can deal with all of that. And overall, we're continuing to make progress, and I see these things come to fruition. So I'm just patiently following up with these lenders, and waiting for them to give us their final response. So that is pretty much it for the weekly report. We have some timelines from most of them. For some of them, we will need to continue our follow-up, as I will do, and then I will keep you posted, and we will get this one nailed down. Thank you for your attention. I'll see you in the next one.